Welcome back, everybody. This is chapter 6 of Creep on June 2026. It's the Grimwood Tales and Once Upon a Grimwood. Now, in our last episode, we left our twins, Frida and Freddie, beating a hasty retreat from the clearing where they'd met the cursed Rosie, crying strings of blue pearls, doomed to stay in the clearing with her husband's coffin for the rest of her life. So the twins left the clearing and carried on down the path through the woods. Freddie became more and more grumpy as the afternoon wore on, and Frida was getting increasingly fed up of listening to him moan about the fact that he was hungry. And Frida was really just about to lose her temper with Freddie when suddenly they came to a fork in the path that they were travelling down. As they were trying to decide which path to take, Freddie suddenly stopped and sniffed. "Wait! I smell food!" he exclaimed. And before Frida could say another word, he dashed off down the left-hand path. Stopped, sniffed, came back. "Nope, it's not down there," he said. And he headed off as quick as lightning down the right path. He'd not gone far down there when he stopped and called back, "Quick, Frida, come on, it's this way, and it smells like a delicious stew." Well, Frida had to admit that she was pretty hungry too, but just as she was about to follow, she noticed a stone by the side of the path. "Turn back, thou pretty bride, within this house you must not abide." Well, a chill ran down Frida's spine, and she remembered the warning of the old owl that said, "Beware the path of standing stones." She called to Freddie to come back, but led by his stomach, he was already too far down the path to hear her. Despite her trepidations, it was starting to get dark, and Frida felt she had no choice but to follow. Ducking under an overhanging tree, Frida almost ran into Freddie, who was talking to a badger. Now, the badger appeared to have been sweeping the path when he met Freddie, but he was now talking quite earnestly to Freddie, resting on his broom. Now, Freddie was clearly trying to find out where this smell of food was coming from. And Mr. Brock, as he introduced himself, was saying that it was from his cottage and that his sisters were cooking dinner. Now, he also told Freddie that he was just a poor woodsman, and that whilst he felt sorry for Frida and Freddie, he couldn't afford to feed them as well. Now, before she could stop him, Freddie had dived his hand into his pocket and pulled out the charm, the beautiful charm that the owl had given him. Well, old Mr. Brock's eyes lit up, and he virtually snatched the charm from Freddie and dragged the twins down the path to his house. As they entered the cottage, old Brock called out a greeting, and two ladies who he introduced as his sisters appeared. As soon as they saw the charm in Mr. Brock's hand, they warmly greeted the twins and bade them come in and sit down by the fire. Now, the cottage was a little bit dark inside, and it was only lit by the fire, but there was a lovely smell of stew, and the source of this the twins soon realised was the big black pot hanging over the fire. The sisters made the twins more welcome than they could ever imagine, and an hour later, suitably fed and warm, the twins were tucked up in blankets in front of the fire, and they soon fell fast asleep. Now, Frida woke early the next morning and sat up somewhat disorientated. But slowly she remembered where they were, and as she looked around in the early morning light in the hope of finding a bathroom. She was just about to try a likely looking door when a shelf on the far wall caught her eye. She moved better for a closer look and gasped at what she saw. The jars on the shelf contained unspeakable things, and without another thought, she grabbed Freddie from his blanket, hauled him out the door before he was even awake, and the twins were running for their life through the woods without a thought for the direction that they were going in. Now, what happens to our twins next? You will have to tune in next week and find out more in the Grim Tales of Grimwood. For now, ka kite anō.